Okay guys, today we're working on a 2002 Chevy Prizm, Toyota Corolla cousin, and this procedure we're doing today is to replace the fuel pump assembly. And this should be the same or similar for the 1998 to 2002 models. Over here are the tools we're going to be using today. Just a couple of screwdrivers, a spackle knife. I got a 10mm socket and an 8mm socket, a 1/4 inch ratchet and an extension. We may not need all of these tools, but I just want to have this available in case we need it. Okay, first thing we're going to do is just disconnect this negative cable since we're working on the fuel pump assembly, and we'll just put that off to the side. Real simple. Okay guys, in order to get to the fuel tank pump assembly, the fuel pump assembly, it's underneath this rear seat behind the driver's side. So on the left side of the car, all you do with this car is you just pull up the seat and it should just come right up. We're actually gonna move this out, so just feed the seat belts through and hopefully we'll find some change, who knows. Alright, we're just gonna go ahead and remove this all together. The fuel pump assembly is under here, so that's why we disconnected the negative battery cable, and we're gonna just pry this up. But first I'm going to open up the fuel tank, so just on this side. All right, so to relieve the pressure in the line, we're just gonna go ahead and remove this gas cap altogether right there, and then we can start with the cover that's there. All right, so I'm just using a spackle knife here to get in underneath this adhesive. It's like looks like tar. Ooh, it's dirty under there. So we're gonna have to clean this up a little bit, and before we remove this connector. And this is the fuel line right here. So we're just gonna go ahead and clean this up a little bit. Okay guys, we're just gonna shoot this with a little bit of brake clean, just to clean that up a little bit. And it's really dirty in there. And we'll just wipe it down. Okay guys, so I just cleaned it up really good and vacuumed it a little bit too. No point in showing that. So with this connector, you just have to press back here. There's a little tab back here. Press it in and then just give it a little wiggle. Alright, there you go. And then just put that off to the side. Next, we're going to remove this little yellow tab, which this holds. This is the fuel line. So just kind of pry that out, like so. Ooh, got some tar on there, sticky stuff. Just, there you go. So, hold on to this. You may end up needing to reuse this. I think the kit we have has a new one, but this is in pretty good shape. So we'll just put it off to the side here. Okay. This is your fuel line. So remember, we released some pressure from the fuel line by opening up the fuel tank. The gas tank, I'm sorry. This is your fuel tank. So you just gotta pry this off. I have this little rag here, some rags over here just in case there's still some pressure in the line. Not bad, just a little bit. So we're gonna put it off to the side over here. Don't damage this. We do not want to have to replace fuel line. That would be not good. Okay, so take this out. Okay, so these little bolts here, you can use a Phillips or an 8mm socket. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like 8 of them. Okay guys, we're just gonna break the seal on these bolts here. They're actually not really tight at all. I thought they were gonna be really tight. So let's switch to just any kind of electric screwdriver just to make things a little easier. I think I've had this thing for like 20 years. And we're just gonna keep them all over in one place here. There's your little screw. We don't need any major power tools here, so don't make fun of my little Black & Decker screwdriver. You definitely don't need any impact wrenches or anything too fancy. Just a screwdriver. Oh, I guess I must have missed that one. I didn't break that one. Okay guys, so we got all the bolts out of there. So we're ready to remove the actual fuel pump assembly. There's this little flange that's holding down the pump there. So if you just lift this up, the flange will come right out. Right, there's your flange. We'll just kind of put it off to the side. And now we're ready to remove the actual assembly itself. You're just gonna have to kind of turn it a little bit. Alright guys, so this is your fuel pump assembly. It took a couple of minutes to get it out of there. You just gotta, just turn it around and then kind of fish it out like this. I have a container, of course, handy because there's gas all in this thing. So, we got gas all over the place here. There's a filter. There's your fuel pressure regulator in there. We may take this apart for another video. Okay guys, so this is the fuel pump we're using. This had some really good reviews, and the price was pretty decent. It was only 125 bucks versus the stock was $500. So it's a brand new unit, and it's got some tabs in here. This is just some shipping tabs. This came on the electrical connector right there, and then this is the fuel. Just pull this off the fuel line in here, and this is your sending unit. So what we're going to do, it also came with a gasket, that little clip we talked about earlier, and we got screws just in case we misplaced some. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the gasket on here, take this plastic off, and we'll be ready in just a couple of minutes to put this in. Alright guys, we're gonna put the gasket on, but I use this for the pool gaskets. I'm just gonna put a little bit of this stuff, just a little bit, on this gasket. I mean, this may not even be necessary, but it'll give it a really good seal when you install this. So all you're gonna do is fish this through, put the filter and the sending unit through, And there we have our gasket. Get it nice and seated there. And we're ready to install. Just remove this little cap here. Stuck in there. I'm gonna go get a screwdriver to pull it out. Yeah, I know I said screwdriver. Just some needle nose or plier. And it just comes right out, okay? And there's your new unit. Okay guys, so here's your original fuel pump assembly. And here's your new one. You see the fuel lines, everything's lining up pretty good. So let's get to it. Let's go ahead and install this puppy and hope and pray to God that it works. All right guys, I covered up the tank just only because I didn't want anything to fall in there. So we're gonna fish this in the same way we took the other one out. Just go in at an angle, get that sending unit in there first, and wow, went in much easier than taking it out. So just make sure it's all lined up, and we can then reinstall the flange like so. And it's got these tabs here, so you make sure you're aligned properly. Right, that looks about right. That'll give us enough room to plug in our fuel line and our electrical connector. Guys, we're just gonna finger tighten these 8 screws. And again, they weren't really super tight in there, so this is only going to take a couple of minutes. All right guys, I just got the screws started, and then we'll just kind of screw these in, tighten them up. Again, you don't have to go super tight. And of course, we're just screwing them in a crisscross pattern to make sure it seats nice and evenly. Alright, make sure we don't miss any. Alright, and then we'll just, got a little Phillips screwdriver here just to kind of give it a final little turn. I'm not torquing this. Alright, I don't even think there's any torque specs, but missed that one there. I want to make sure it's nice and tight, as it is the gas tank. So let's make sure I got them all. Alright guys, that's it. Now we're ready to plug our fuel back in here. Our electrical, now we're just gonna go ahead and reuse the old clip right here. Okay guys, get your fuel line in there, get this little tab snapped in so that fuel line is not going anywhere. Take out all of your rags and paper towels or whatever, make sure nothing's in there. And we're not going to seal this just yet because we want to do a leak test, but we are going to plug it in like so. Click, and there we go. Pretty much done. We're going to go ahead and reconnect the negative battery. Okay guys, so we have our lid back on here. I'm not going to secure it just yet. I want to do I want to start it up and reconnect the negative terminal, and again, we'll say a quick little prayer because I'm not a mechanic. I'm just like you, trying to save a couple of bucks. Okay guys, we're just gonna reconnect the negative terminal. Right, and right here. I'm just using a 10mm on this particular vehicle nice and tight. All right, guys, we're gonna attempt to start this vehicle. We're gonna turn the ignition to on and then off. We're gonna do that 3 times just to repressurize the fuel line and see if it starts. All right, that's a good sign. I'm going to take it for a test drive and then talk to you guys in a couple of minutes. Okay guys, we just took it for a quick little drive and we're just gonna look for any leaks, and no leaks whatsoever. If you guys want to use some of this RTV silicone to put this cover back on, you know, you probably can do that. It looks like it's RTV, but it sticks pretty good just with what's there. I'll probably add a little bit before I put the back seat back in here. So that's pretty much it, guys, for this 2002 Chevy Prizm / Toyota Corolla. It's the same thing with this fuel pump assembly. Hope you guys learned something. We did. We're having a problem starting this vehicle in the afternoon, in the heat of the afternoon here in South Florida. The morning, it would start right up in the morning, so we suspect it was a fuel pressure regulator, but I didn't have the time or patience to replace the regulator. I just wanted to replace the whole thing. So we'll keep you posted if anything happens, but so far that assembly is working just fine. Starts right up. So thanks again for watching. Like, subscribe, you know what to do. Take care and God bless.